Courage the Cowardly Dog. What, it's just a silly kid show about a purple dog in the middle of nowhere. Can't be that scary, right? Oh my god. That's not gonna make it into the video. I gotta do something else. It's actually pretty horrifying, even today, so let's talk about it. Stupid dog! Alright, so Courage the Cowardly Dog was a wildly popular show on Cartoon Network that was created by John R. Dilworth and first aired in 1999. It was preceded by a short film called The Chicken from Outer Space, which aired in 1996. The show revolves around Courage and his two owners, Muriel and Eustace Baggs. Muriel is a kind-hearted old woman who is sometimes just oblivious, and Eustace is just plain mean. Yeah, he's terrible, and Muriel could do better. Courage's character is kind-hearted and loyal, and he loves to scream. He also likes to go. The premise of the show revolves around Courage protecting his family from a monster of the week per se. Every episode has some kind of threat or monster that Courage has to take care of. Sometimes it's aliens, sometimes it's just freaks like this guy. So I actually didn't really watch the show whenever it first aired, but reruns would continue until 2021, and I believe as of 2023 it was put onto Adult Swim, which is actually very fitting. I do remember seeing one episode when I was a kid, maybe like 7 or 8, something about a talking exploding carrot, which is pretty tame compared to what I'm going to talk about later, but it still was enough to keep me far away from the show. But whenever I was a little older, a little braver, maybe like 12, 13, I decided to watch it once it was put on Netflix. And it was, yeah, scary, but I loved it. Alright, so I know this is what you've all been waiting for. Let's talk about some of the most iconic scary moments in Courage the Cowardly Dog. Okay, so starting off strong with the horror, let's talk about the "You're Not Perfect" scene. So in the last episode of the show, actually, titled Perfect, we see that Courage is kind of down in the dumps. He's been messing up housework, he's been messing up cooking and stuff like that, and he feels very imperfect. So this ghost lady shows up and gives him perfect lessons. Now you may be asking, is this ghost lady real, or like where'd she come from? Is it all in Courage's head? Anyways, after this creepy ghost lady just like destroys Courage's confidence, trying to make him perfect, he can't sleep the next night because he's just thinking about how imperfect he is, and he's just having other random nightmares. But one of them really stands out, and that I present to you now. Yeah. Now, you may be wondering, is there any kind of context to this? Is there a reason that we're seeing this specific weird monster that looks straight out of like a Tim Burton movie? It's just kind of there. Like, watching the episode won't give you any more context than what you already have. It's completely terrifying for no reason at all, and it's awesome. Okay, moving on, let's talk about this freak. Fred. Freaky Fred. Now, I'm not sure what the general consensus is on Freaky Fred, but to me, he was definitely the scariest. Not even close, actually. I hated Freaky Fred. And I was watching the show when I was like 12, 13, and it still scared me to bits. I do not like Freaky Fred. Freaky Fred is Muriel's nephew, who's this creepy and sadistic barber. And in his episode, Freaky Fred, he's the narrator of the episode, and he keeps on talking about his naughty endeavors.
Hey, I said my name is Fred, and I've been very naughty.
Where he just can't help himself from shaving people's hair off. It starts off with a hamster, then a little girl, and then onto a man with really long hair and a big old beard and mustache. Now, obviously, Freaky Fred is supposed to represent like a psychopath / like someone who does bad things to people, but you know, it's a kid's show. He shaves her hair and that's like what he does. But like the first two victims, we get to see what they look like without a shaved head. But the last guy, it just cuts away. You be the judge of what that implies. He also just doesn't open his eyes while he's being shaved, and he's shaving his armpits and like all his hair. I don't know. It's a kid's show. It's a kid's show, okay? Okay, so the next iconic moment we're going to be talking about is the darkest ending to an episode of a kid's show probably ever. So in the episode called The Great Fusili, this weird crocodile guy visits the house, and he promises to make Eustace and Muriel these big theater stars. Obviously, as with any episode of the show, something else is going on. Basically, his whole thing is he wants to turn them into puppets. Luckily, Courage is able to save them, but he doesn't change them back. So the last scene of the episode is Courage sitting in the lap of puppet Muriel, and then going up and using the little, marionette thing? Is that what you call it? To have her respond. And it's just creepy and weird, and Courage is like, the things I do for love. And it's like, Courage, dude, you're psychopathic. You've gone crazy. You've lost it. Funnily enough, this was also the last episode of season 1. So like, what if they just didn't make a season 2? Is that just how the show was supposed to end? I don't know. It's a kid's show. Whatever. Now, before I talk about the moment that I know you're probably thinking about, I would like to honorably mention the ghost moonface guy from the episode House of Discontent, and the creepy jump scare violin girl from the episode Courage in the Big Stinking City. You're both very scary. Good job, guys. Keep it up. No, but seriously, this jump scare is one of the great jump scares that genuinely got me the first time I saw it. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. Okay, so moving on to the one that you've all been waiting for. Return the slab, or suffer my curse. King Ramses' curse is about this cursed slab that Courage finds out in the yard, and apparently it's worth like $1 million, so Eustace decides he's going to keep it and buy spark plugs and light bulbs and whatever he wants because he's going to be rich. What happens the next night would scar children all over the world for years and burn a horrible image into all of their minds.
Return the slab.
What?
Return the slab, or suffer my curse.
Pretty creepy. It's actually kind of tame today. I mean, the CGI looks just kind of silly, or CGI, claymation, whatever it is. But seeing it as a kid is obviously something completely different. Funny side note, this character, King Ramses, releases a bunch of plagues onto the house to try to get Eustace to give him his slab back. Obviously, return the slab. And one of them is to just play his theme song. And whenever it starts playing, all the characters like close their ears and they're like, oh my god, ah. But it's actually kind of a banger. I think they just don't have any taste. As I was revisiting Courage the Cowardly Dog to create this video, I actually had a really fun time with the show, even as an adult. I definitely wouldn't say it's too kiddie for adults to enjoy. It is a pretty weird and random show sometimes, but there are also genuinely funny and scary moments for even me as an adult. I hate this little girl. I think what stands out most about the show is its atmosphere. The whole vibe of the show just kind of gives me a feeling of dread. You know, the way the show is placed out in the middle of nowhere, literally. Yet beneath all that, it can actually be very touching and sentimental. We see that Courage really just cares about his owners and really wants to take care of them. Much like how a real dog feels. Ain't that right, Mia? So guys, let me know if this show terrified you as much as it terrified me. Remember to like and subscribe if you liked the video and would like to see more content like this. And let me know if you're also going to go revisit Courage out in the middle of nowhere. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.